awkward pause in.
Oh,
I'll
well.
edit it out.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
I didn't know. I never knew the Esseltine incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like it. Everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Luna wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean? What happened to you?
Told her in the fire. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
What did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On the night of Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
I'm right here. You don't have to shout. Officer Marshall's brother Neil was only trying to save me.
So that means you.
Yes? I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that unusual for this size. I was alone in just my sister's office. We were planning to eat a dinner together when she finished her work. Then suddenly, boom, this terrifying man comes bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
Seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out the knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then,
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out, and suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for only an instant.
What?
Dramatic reading. It sounds like going to a theater.
What I saw then, but a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
A permanent picture. What did you see in the instant that the crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. when I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma, you've been through so much.
That's not how she sees it. She just enjoys telling the story. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago, you must have been 14.
Why does she look identical?
It's understandable.
She doesn't eat much, so she grew slowly.
But she doesn't. Literally, they didn't even change her clothes.
This is just Phoenix imagining.
Did you want them to draw an entirely new sprite
Yeah.
just for this one little flashback scene?
Yeah, they did it for
She even
Edgeworth
has
and
the
them.
pink glasses.
Yeah, she didn't change her style or anything. 2 years. But once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make the airtight case. That way Lorna would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime.
I don't remember the moment when Doc stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that.
No, like I said, I was in the hospital when I was attacked. It must be why Lana. Why she made up the crime.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth used it.
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was giving false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth and me. It's all me fault. If I only could have testified properly, none of this would have ever happened.
So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same again. She became cold, like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. There's something puzzling me, Emma.
He keeps jumping around the conversation. What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but why was he being chased by a prosecutor?
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Yep. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away. He fled through the interview and then fled to my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Maybe they were dating. Because the detective offices and questioning room are right across from the elevator.
A serial killer?
Yeah, across from the elevator. But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dog case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be.
How would you go from being a detective to a chief prosecutor?
How indeed.
How would they even cover that up?
A detective? I better have another talk with her.
Vince McMahon was the one who made that decision.
It seems everything is somehow related to this incident.
What was labeled again? The SL9 incident?
Yes, the name of everyone connected to this trial is listed in here. All that's left is to figure out just what role everyone plays in this case. If we search hard enough, I think we'll be able to find answers. What exactly did or didn't Lana do?
I'm not sure I want to know. Luna!
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you a trouble.
Falsifying evidence? I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we?
But Luna, if you're wrong, an innocent person may be feel guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana, Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago. And how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be.
The trial, it wasn't really fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana, despite my hatred. I believed that no matter what happened, you would always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. At the trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is,
Oh, that's just drama to them.
at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness Miss Starr said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
This doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana so faced before.
It's true. I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
Why did they organize the dialogue like this? What's wrong with them?
I think Wright is supposed to have ADHD.
She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Grant cracked together.
Can you imagine being interrogated by Luigi and Mario or Mickey Mouse?
Which one was the bad cop?
Chief Gant?
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked at the crime scenes. Damon Gant, he was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever. They solved the crimes before the report even could be filed.
Emma really idolizes her big sister.
Sometimes.
Now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was,
To gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, wasn't it?
Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to his resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right?
Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
They had the same office?
Yes, we led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho.
Wait, which Marshall?
Jake. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall left their guards down, and then he fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself.
It's where you found me.
So you were the first person to run up to the scene, Lana?
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark.
Why would they let Marshall question him?
He's a cop.
It's in the murder of his own brother.
They didn't know that yet.
Oh.
When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma, who had passed out?
And the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and laid unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through.
What? Gone through what? After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
I did not do that line, right?
Her sister must have gone through. The multiverse of madness.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident?
That's right. Quite a coincidence.
Why is it taking me so long to get this through?
Yeah, I thought this was already established a long time ago.
It's just really hard for him to wrap his mind around the fact that everyone involved in this case was also involved in a past case.
I don't buy it.
What do you think?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance.
But the case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as quite a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he has changed completely.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with the memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office. The site of the final SL9 incident murder.
Incident murder.
If you move. What are you presenting? Why?
Attorneys and prosecutors have no business showing evidence outside a court. It's taboo, especially when the interests of both parties are involved.
She really means it. Why are you so interested?
Why would you present anything?
No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr.
Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. It must be where the detectives are.
We proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m.
Yeah, I thought that we finally made some headway in our case.
But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lon.
I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
spray his desk again. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here.
Maybe he's been being questioned by the Inquiry Committee. Inquiry? He took a real beating in court today.
Yeah, with Lorna admitting and falsifying evidence 2 years ago.
I guess we'll just have to come back later.
Phoenix usually visits once a day to spray his desk.
Howdy, Bambina.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Billy?
Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed?
Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go into the evidence room today, partner.
To Mr. Marshall. Oh, why'd you do it?
Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one.
Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened?
Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so.
What do you mean, fishy?
Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon.
The murder weapon? You mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip?
That was Joe Dark's, all right. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
What's that mean?
It means there's a good chance the knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, the possibility had been erased.
Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence?
That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SO9 incident left behind. I thought you should elaborate on that or something.
There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to get too obvious.
They?
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second in command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers.
After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective.
Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too.
Tell me what happened to my sister.
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out.
Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago.
I got the looks, but Neil Marshall got the brains.
They look identical. I mean, he has like a goatee, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's a powerful goatee. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
I guess he had lines too. Not with his eyes.
How old was he, your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day.
The highest honor? You mean the...
King of Prosecutors.
I knew it!
What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
The day of the SL9 incident took place. It wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer.
Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently, someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner?
It was certainly enlightening.
There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina.
Did he just turn into a force ghost?
Yep.
February 24, Police Department, Criminal Affairs.
This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
There's still 2 guys there.
That must mean everyone is busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room.
Huh? Thanks. Oh, wow, you actually talked to us.
I talk to you all the time. With the chief prosecutor saying what he did and the decision about what to do. About Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media and tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. Ha 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 ha.
I think festive is the word actually used for those.
Crap, hold on.
So, we'd like to have a look around the Grand's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't the police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits.
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Well, what are we waiting for? It's at the chief's office.
That must be the chief of detectives. He's staring at that screen so hard it might shatter.
What? Dark case may have been fabricated. That's what I thought all along. Ha 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 ha. I should have bothered never to tell anyone. Ha 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 ha.
Now there's a guy who cares about his work. That must be one of the detectives. He's mumbling something to himself.
That's it. The villain used a time machine. Very clever indeed. That would explain the alibi. The future might not be so far away after all.
He's not writing a report, he's writing a novel.
I think you examined everything else in this room before.
There are the detectives' desks. There are a few computers and files on each one. Funny, they're a lot tidier than I'd expect.
A lot.
You started to say a little tighter than you remember Gumshoe existing. They're a lot tighter.
I guess the detectives don't spend a lot of time at their desks. Oh, I really have notes on my desk.
February 23rd, 4th, Police Department, Chief's Office.
Whoa! Where am I?
In the Chief's Office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door.
Check it out! That pipe organ! That's real, isn't it?
I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bag.
What is that, Matt?
Bach.
Bach? What's Bach?
He's a composer.
Oh, Little Miss Bag.
Baby got back.
I don't know what she just said.
She says she's gonna play the organ.
Oh. It looked like she just ran over there, played it, and ran back.
I never could remember where C was. Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gad! Put that paper he was reading in his desk.
So, righto. How you been swimming lately?
No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct. And Lana's provocative statement.
Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence?
2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? Do ya? Well, that's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. You like it? I liked what I was doing with my hair in it.
Well, I'm just surprised how skinny Chief Dan is. I thought he was supposed to be fatter than that.
That's kind of rude.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
Something's not right with this picture. Chief Dan should be... I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. How's it get into the tour record? Can you take a picture of the picture?
I guess.
Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh.
Oh.
But this office of the crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has been long since over. No need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to take a look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out! I have a meeting to attend! Looks like we weren't welcome.
It seems that case isn't over with yet after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us to look around in there.
You mean like a clue?
There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office.
Just break in. Sure, nobody in the police department will notice.
The blue badger is still there.
It's not moving. Oh. I thought it moved, but...
Its batteries are getting low.
Let's give him a bit of a doubt, say he's dancing. Speaking of dancing... This is all... I always hope that Peanuts is going to say... It's not have Peanuts break out dancing when he says that. Speaking of dancing... He doesn't break dance.
They didn't have one for 2 3D animations.
Yeah, should have a 3D animation of Peanuts dancing.
Flossing.
Can I kill it? I want to kill it.
Music goes silent.
Hey, pal.
Detective Gumshoe! Aren't you supposed to be in a meeting?
I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long.
Actually, from serving everyone coffee.
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop.
Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask?
He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court.
That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Yikes.
let me share a little advice with you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut.
I'll keep that in mind.
Sheesh.
But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Sky is the guilty party here, isn't she?
Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now, with this...
Are there really so many people who hate him?
In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to the joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir.
It seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him.
What does it mean he tries not to stick out? He wears a giant green trench coat.
It was brown when I got it. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack.
Starting dropping poop water.
Actually, I got a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing.
He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find anything out?
The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final trial attack.
Final attack? Trial? Attack?
I meant final attack. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You mean?
When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, he was trying to protect some girl.
Me? It seems Detective Junction never realized Emma was the girl.
What?
That's why he left the most incriminating evidence at all.
He never knows he was a girl.
Never noticed I was a girl.
Well, what was it?
Let's see. I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollection never fail to impress.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Why do you choose to go the longest way?
Because it's the best way. About this.
Hey, is that...
It has a tag attached to it with the label SO9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in somebody's locker.
The day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again.
What'd you say that?
She's threatening him.
This knife! It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it?
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet, down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
A businessman? What made him take to serial killing?
One day on his way home from work, he hit somebody with his car.
With his car. So it was an accident?
An accident, yeah, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second man. A kid walked by, so he killed him too. Then when he was burying the bodies, a jogger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Why? I don't understand. Seems he was a pretty careless animal.
Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
So he turned himself in?
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. Somebody's mowing outside the police department.
That last witness? AKA Emma.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
The chief is out now. The office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around, if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Oh,
So in other words, Gumshoe's our only chance of getting in that office.
wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Now they show him the picture.
Badger. This guy almost made us lose the case today.
What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstain on that evidence locker with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays.
It would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well.
I have to admit, he's right, though. Thanks to the Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m. I thought maybe that was supposed to I know what it's all about or something.
I just gave you that.
Oh,
Picture.
show him, though.
Show me the picture.
You just showed me that, pal. I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. To think people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal.
You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose.
Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dart guilty.
Maybe you don't have anything to show me yet.
Where am I supposed to go?
I don't know. Other place, maybe. You show him the statue.
Oh,
You know, Officer Marshall.
Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. Don't know why you're bringing him up. When I first started out, he even gave me a small cactus.
Really?
He said, Dick, she'll listen to all your troubles.
Note to self. Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus.
Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Someone ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
that wasn't it.
Maybe you need to go somewhere else.
Where?
Go to the detention center and then go somewhere else. I'm sure there's other places. See if Edgeworth's there.